Hello, I'm Neil Holbert, and this is Running Ribashda. We're here at Boards and Brews in Manchester, New Hampshire, a great local gaming bar where you can meet some awesome people and have a great time with some board games, some Dungeons and Dragons, or just some awesome food and drink. I highly advise the smoking jacket. It's delicious. So, part of running Dungeons and Dragons, specifically running Ribashda, as a dungeon master, you need to know how to read your players. Now, last episode we touched on safety tools, and this has a little bit to do with that. But reading your players comes down to this. You need to know what they want out of the game. In between sessions, check out their character sheets. Their character sheets are a window into what a player wants out of the game. If you have somebody playing a cleric that has a bunch of abilities targeting undead, let him fight a vampire. Bring him up to Vorau. Let him fight the vampire Lord Savale. You'll have a great time. Well, kind of. You have somebody, a ranger, who's really hyped up to fight dragons? Let him go hunt dragons! Those favorite enemies are a great look into a ranger's point of view. Does your thief have a bunch of social skills on his character sheet? Did he really invest in his persuasion? Let him get into some dicey situations where he needs to talk his way out of it. Does your wizard have lots and lots of skill build up into their arcana? Are they constantly looking for books? Let them raid a library in the Centaurian Enclave. Let your players do the things they want, but find a way to frame it inside of your story. That wizard who wants to look for books, drop a hint that there's some eldritch lore that can help them fight the big bad. And it might be tucked away in this library. That thief that needs to talk his way out, all of a sudden, that thief got caught stealing rubies from a baron. Needs to talk his way out of a court date. That's a pretty good session, especially if the rest of the party are on the jury or even the defendants, the plaintiffs. When you get down to back in the day trials, there's some wacky stuff that happened. Beyond your character sheets of your players, look at their body language. When somebody's engaged and excited in the game, you can see it on their face, the way that they're leaning into the table. They want to know what's going to happen. You can tell by the tone of voice. If you want your players to be scared, you might need to hype up just how threatening this monster they're facing is. Or you might have gone overboard and you might need to dial it back. You can tell by the looks on their face, the way they're holding their bodies, and the sounds and timbre of their voice. All in all, reading your players is a very important part of being a dungeon master, and eventually you're going to get to a point with any given play group that you can just know what they need out of the next given moment to get them to a great role-playing spot. You want that player who's demure, withdrawn, to come out of their shell, address them in game. Hey, Laura, what do you do when the dice come up on a 15 all of a sudden? How are you going to talk your way out of this fracas with the guards? The dragon's swooping down! What do you do when it breathes fire on the roadway you guys are walking down? You don't have to call out your players one at a time, but it can be a really useful tactic for pulling a withdrawn player out of their shell a little bit and getting them into the game. Speak to them with their character's name directly to their character. Don't overuse this tool though. It's a great trick to have in your pocket. But if you overuse it, you run the risk of pushing a player too far. You don't want to do that. But you do want your players to have an amazing time role-playing at your table. So give them the prompts and the moments in a game to make everything amazing for them and their characters, because those are the stories they're going to tell for the rest of their life.